Hello! How many sexes are there? The number of different sexes there are can be confusing depending on who you ask. For some, it can mean anything from how you look to how you feel, which can potentially lead to awkward questions and interestingly worded answers. When we turn to science, it defines sex as how you look or your phenotype, which is less confusing, but there is still a lot of variations. However, we could be even more specific and say it's genetic or chromosomal sex that we are interested in, or which sex chromosome variations you have. So, let's add them up. Humans have X and Y chromosomes. Usually you take one from each parent, giving us 4 different combinations. Order does not matter, so 2 are the same, and you have to have an X to live. Unsurprisingly, that leaves 2 combinations, male or female. But, and here is where it starts to get strange, you can also have 3 chromosomes. Again, order does not matter, and you have to have an X, which is 3 more sexes. Even stranger is that the vast majority of these different sexes have no idea they are different. This is because they only look a little different than anyone else. They may be taller or shorter, more male or female looking, or possibly even think and behave differently. But because no one can easily tell them apart from everyone else, they are like the secret sexes. So, how many secret sex people are there? Roughly 25 million, which is the number of people living in New York, London, and Hong Kong combined. But wait, so if you can have 3 chromosomes, can someone have even more or less? It turns out, yes, they can. There are roughly 2.5 million, or the entire population of Chicago, that have 1, 4, or even 5 chromosomes. However, if you're one of these people, there's a good chance you have bad side effects, and it will certainly be less secret. There are 7 variations, but 3 of these are so incredibly rare and poorly understood that they probably should not be included yet, which gives us 4 more sexes. So, there are people with different numbers of sex chromosomes. Is that all the variations? Amazingly, there's also differences in different parts of people's bodies. There are people where it is like they came from 2 different people. They're called chimeras or mosaics. For example, they might have different colored eyes, skin marks, or mixed male and female parts. How could this possibly happen? One way is when 2 fertilized eggs fuse, which is like your non-identical twin, and you decide that neither of you want to go it alone in the world and make one person instead. Or perhaps your twin still wants to go it alone but is really friendly and shares stem cells with you like blood cells. These grow, leaving the blood of your brother or sister in your veins for your entire life. And sometimes for reasons we do not fully understand, early on your body just decides to be different. In all cases, you do not have a single set of sex chromosomes throughout your body. One part of you is one sex while the other part is different. So far, science has seen 7 variations, but again, 3 are so rare and poorly understood that they should not be included yet, giving us 4 more sexes. So how many people with different sexes is that? Well, mosaics could count both ways, so not counting duplicates, that's roughly 26.3 million people that are not strictly XX or XY, which, if you gathered them all together in one place, is close to the population of Australia. So, counting the wildly popular 2 sexes, the 3 super secret sexes, the 4 less secret sexes, often with issues, and 4 hybrids, that's 13 sexes, right? Well, maybe. There are scientists who are creating animal-human chimeras, or hybrids, called parahumans, because what could possibly go wrong? Britain has created over 150 embryonic hybrids, China has fused human skin with rabbit eggs, and the US has created a pig with human blood, mice with human brain cells, and even a human sheep hybrid as a potential organ donor. What sex are they? Fortunately, when using a lot of human cells, these experiments are usually stopped after a few days or weeks, preventing us from having to consider their sex and possibly escaping a parahuman apocalypse. So, we're left with 13 different chromosomal sexes, or variations discovered so far, and they generally look in different amounts, male or female or both. There are millions of people with these fundamental genetic sexual differences who are recognized to varying amounts around the world, and while we might not call each variation a different sex, if for no other reason than it would be far too many new words in everyday speech, we can answer the question and say there are at least 13 different kinds of chromosomal variations discovered so far, and leave the number of variations based on how you look or feel for another time. And finally, no matter if you're one of the wildly popular sexes, the super secret sexes, the less secret sexes, or one of the hybrids, keep an eye on those parahuman laboratories because, unlike this video, that might not end so well. Thanks for listening.